Hi, my name's Phil Winder. Every enterprise developer has lived this moment. You're integrating against an internal SDK and you ask your coding assistant for help. It produces code, it looks perfect, but it's totally made up. None of the methods are real, all of the code is hallucinated. Imagine you're a developer at a company that uses an internal payment platform called Helix Pay. This isn't Stripe, so it isn't included in any of the AI coding assistant's training data. The platform team published a Go SDK. It has its own types, its own patterns, its own opinions about error handling. There may be 15 packages in that SDK. You need to build a checkout flow. The key insight is that this SDK does not exist on the internet. There's no Stack Overflow answers, no blog posts, no training data. The LLM is flying completely blind. So let's begin by looking at what happens when we don't use something like Helix Code Intelligence to implement this new payment provider. I'm going to create a new project and I'm going to ask my agent to implement the new payment provider for me. It's going to go ahead and start planning this task, which will take a couple of minutes. Now we can take a look at the spec that was generated by the planning agent, and the key thing to note is that the entire thing is being hallucinated. It's inventing new ways of handling payment methods inside this project. It's not using the SDK. I'm going to go ahead and approve that design anyway, and we'll take a look at what the end result looks like a bit later. Now I'm going to connect and index our Helix Pay Go SDK. This will take a moment to index. Now it's indexed, we can create another project just like we did before and ask a planning agent to implement the same thing again. It's exactly the same prompt, I haven't changed it at all. Now let's have a look at the spec again, and if we look here, then in the implementation plan, we can see that it's importing the Helix Pay SDK correctly. Once again, I'm going to allow it to generate the implementation of this, and we'll take a look at the code in a moment. We've now got two PRs on our repo, and the key difference between them is one is using an internal library that never gets reused again and is completely hallucinated, and the other is the official Helix Pay SDK. The only difference between these two things was one was using Helix Code Intelligence, the other was not. Helix Code Intelligence is the perfect accompaniment to internal SDKs and libraries. Without it, your coding assistant goes off the rails and makes things worse.